Man is neither a body, neither a spirit, or neither a soul, but man is that entity that dwells on earth and can resonate with its ecosystem and give feedback to the creator in heaven.
Everything personal is revealed in your book. Unreasonable captivity.
Man is not just a mortal being, man is God's creation. So in God's, one of the agendas of God, or one of the blueprints of God creating man, is that man should resonate with him. This is why I went further to give us an exposition and a deeper knowledge on the translations of this Psalm 8 from verse 4, so that you will discover that the man that is referring to Adam, and which is humankind, is this man in the part B of Psalm 8 from verse 4, which implies a relationship based interaction. This is why God had to, and one of the problems that created this verse is the fact that God always pays visit and homage. He continually visits that man. So first and foremost, we must understand and get it into our subconsciousness that man is God's creation. And if man is God's creation, then we need to understand God to an extent. And in trying to understand God to an extent, you discover that God is a spirit being. God is a spirit being. God is a spirit being. So when you understand spirit, when you begin to see God as spirit, spirits are omnipresent, and they are to an extent, especially God being the Father of all spirit. God, himself, he is omniscient. So a spirit, God is omnipresent. He is omniscient, and he is everything in himself. So the personality of God being exposed as a spirit, and knowing fully well that God, being the spirit divine, is omnipresent and omniscient, we must understand from his concept. We must try to reach out to his mind to see the content of his heart, the blueprint for man's creation. So first of all, we need to understand that man was a spirit's project. Man is God's project, and God is not mortal. God is spirit, and he does not dwell on mortal face or mortal ecosystem or a mortal atmosphere. He dwells in a spirit realm. Secondly, and thirdly, we must try to get some insights and some nuggets, some quotations, and some inner knowing to the heart of God concerning his agenda for mankind and for the creation or for the project of mankind. And if you read the book of Genesis carefully, you discover that one of the major and the basic assignment of humanity and of humankind on the face of the earth was the fact and was the assignment of dominion. So you discover that God, being a spirit-based and spirit-concerned being or deity, he had a project in mind. And you agree with me that because God is a spirit being or a spirit deity, his project that he planned on having on earth, so much so that the earth will not be a dormant island, he needed to implant an entity such as himself on the face of the earth, so that the person or the personality or the entity will walk the earth as he does or as he operates in the heavens. So one of the basic things that we must understand is God dwells in the spirit realm. He is a spirit. The project man is his project, and he has a plan for his project. So you will agree with me that if God has a plan for his project, and one of the expositions we understand is that his project, he occasioned an environment for his project, a physical environment for his project, which is the earth. So in trying to have a project as a spirit being on the face of the earth, this is where the human and the bodily form of man plays out. So as much as man is a project in time and operating in the 3D world, the world of space, matter, and time, so this project of God as a spirit needs to carry out the materials that suits the environment in which his operation will be domiciled. So he had to engage the mortal or the physical composition of man. So man being a physical composition is not all about man, because if man would have been created just as a mortal being, just like every other animals, there will be no relationship that will propel or that will integrate God, a spirit, and a man. And bear it in mind that God in himself, he intended an entity that is free to himself, and that is almost selfless, and that has a will. So God was not intended to make a robot or a mechanical engineered organism or entity that would just operate as a remote control based operation. No, he wanted something that will resonate back to him at will. So God created man on the face of the earth as mortal, considering the fact that man's dominion is based and his operation is factored on the face of the earth. So there was just no way. This is why spirits do not traffic on the earth without human vessels. So man cannot generally, or cannot specifically, or monumentally be said to be a mortal or a man or a physical man as your body seems to be alone, because that is not just all about the creation process and the exposition and the expression of man. So as much as God wanted to create an entity that dominates on the face of the earth as a spirit based and a spirit a high mental thinking deity, he needed to install or create a sub-consciousness which is in itself independent, but carries the host of the physical body on the face of the earth, so much so that conscious additional, or that conscious composition of man has much more than physical material qualities and features, so much so that it can resonate with the creator in heaven at any given point in time. So this is why a man is a spirit himself. He's not generally, or a man is not generally a spirit, but he is an embodiment of a spirit. And this spirit is neither the spirit of God nor the spirit of the devil. It's decisive, it's almost idiosyncratic to the decision of the host. So wherever you want to resonate your spirit being to, that's what your dividends will pour out. But from creation, in the case of Adam, the first man, you discover that basically we cannot talk about man and humanity and humankind without taking our emphasis and our root on Adam. So you discover that God created Adam from the dust of the earth, and he installed in his configuration an independent operating system, which is this which is a spirit of man. So a man has a spirit, which is the spirit of man. So, and this spirit is one of the basic and is independent in itself as a component, because and based on the fact that the spirit needs to resonate with God from the blueprint, resonate with God at any and every given point in time. So the spirit traps signals from the heaven above, and he resonates these signals through a device called the soul. So this is why the soul is still a component of man, and at any given point in time can be expressed from the body. So man basically cannot be defined as a body or just physical, nor a spirit, because even as a spirit, he needs the body as much as he needs itself being the spirit, and the spirit still needs the soul as much as it needs the body and it needs the spirit. So these three components are dependent on each other at every given point in time. So you cannot define man to be one among or over and against the other component. So man is neither a spirit, neither a soul, neither a body. I simply define man from my analysis in the eyes of God, that man is not a body, neither a soul, but man is that entity that dwells on earth and can resonate with its ecosystem and give feedback to the creator in heaven. I repeat again, this is my definition from my analysis. I said man is neither a body, neither a spirit, or neither a soul, but man is that entity that dwells on earth and can resonate with its ecosystem and give feedback to the creator in heaven. So before you begin to call yourself a man, you must make sure you pass the test of manhood. The test of manhood is your ability to dwell on earth, resonate to heaven, resonate with your ecosystem by the use of your soul, and to trap or to give feedback to heaven by your spirit. So whenever those three components are not intertwined or are not working consciously together, you see that a man cannot be defined to be a complete man. So a man who is not in Christ, according to the blueprint, is not a complete man. In fact, it's not a man, because he's out of the design and the aspirations of God. So a man is that entity that dwells on earth, that resonates with its ecosystem, and that gets and gives feedback to God, his creator. So at every given point in time, a man must dwell on earth. So a man is not an entity or a spirit above. He is somebody on earth. This means he carries a mortal, and he resonates. His soul, his mind, his emotions, and his desires are active. And then he, at every given point in time, connects with the signals of heaven above. So basically, for this analysis, this is where we are going to stop. I believe and I trust God. This has blessed you. This has made your day. This has has imbibed in you greater and new understanding. We appreciate God for another dimension. We thank you finally for joining us. Do not forget to like this video, to share this video, click on the notification button, to comment any topic suggestion, and we'll pick it up from there, or a question, or an addition, a division, a multiplication, or even a subtraction. And as you do that, God will bless you. Thank you. I remain your brother, and may the day will come. Don't forget, this is Amson Foundation International, and this is my analysis for the 2023. God bless you. Shalom.